A lot of the time, people just want to pet her. They always think she's the most beautiful thing in the world. And sometimes you have to remind passengers that they are not to be petting the dogs because they're working. It's very important for her focus just to be on me and not to the other people around her. So a lot of the time, passengers just want to pet her. They want to play with her. They watch her. And I find people get distracted and don't even pick up their bags sometimes because they're so excited about seeing the dog.
There you go, so you're a big distraction.
Yeah.
We've seen them in airports, on crime shows, and on the evening news. Dogs who use their noses to help hunt for contraband items, find lost children, and help during times of disaster. Well, today on NSK9, we're spending some time here at Halifax Stanfield International Airport, where a dog uses its nose to hunt for contraband agriculture items. But also, we're going to find out how scent detection has become one of the fastest growing sports in the dog community. And we're also going to learn how scent detection is a business opportunity.
Our initial training course is 10 weeks long. Bella went through the 10-week process this time. I went through a 5-week process because this was my second dog. And while you're on the training, it's learning to bond with your dog, work with your dog, understanding how they work and what they need, and learning how to read your dog as they're working, because they don't always do exactly what you need them to do. So you have to be able to tell what's going on as a handler. And your movement is really important with the dog, how you hold your leash, things like that. So you learn all of that within your 5 weeks or 10 weeks, and then you come back to the port and we do progressive training and we train them up on our own and work with them every single day to make them better at their job.
Let's go!
Bella is a 1-year-old treeing walker coonhound. She graduated from scent school in Montreal in 2018 and is now on duty with a very important job at Halifax's Stanfield International Airport.
Bella is trained for food, plant, and animal products, so she searches at international flights for food coming into the country. She's trained on 7 different odors in that field, and then from that it can expand to other things. Foreign foods coming into our country from other areas can cause a lot of harm to our environment and to our agriculture production here, so we have to ensure that things don't come into the country and harm those things, because we need to protect our environment here.
What are some of the most unique things or interesting things that you and Bella or your previous dog have found over the years?
Bella, a lot of the things that we find, for me with Bella, one of our recent things was cow skin from Africa. That was a big thing that we had recently, and it's just interesting because you don't realize that a lot of passengers don't realize that those things aren't allowed, and it's all about educating themselves on what can and can't come into the country, because a lot of people don't realize that it can be up to a $1,300 fine if you do not declare your food, plant, or animal products coming into the country.
You may have seen scent dogs at the airport or with police, dogs with different specialties, agriculture like Bella, or drugs, bombs, even bodies. But outside law enforcement, there's a growing industry of scent detection using dogs, and they're looking for bugs. So why would you want to train to find bed bugs?
It actually is a business opportunity that is vastly needed. It's becoming more and more an issue in urban areas. Your hospitals, soccer teams or hockey teams coming home, the parents want their kids' luggage checked. The best hotels can have bed bugs, and it's easier to find a single bed bug with the dog so that you don't have to spray the whole area every single time. Good boy, yeah, good man. Once he's certified, he will have to alert on a single bed bug egg.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a live bed bug at
And
that.
a live bed bug at that, and he has to be able to differentiate between live bed bugs and dead bed bugs. So if he alerts on a dead bed bug, he would fail his certification exam.
So you talk about a certification exam.
Yeah.
Who certifies that?
The World Detection Dog Association.
There's a World Detection Dog Association.
Yep, yep. So they certify these dogs, and they have to go. It's actually a double-blind certification that they have to do. So the tester actually doesn't know where the bed bugs are either.
Oh,
it's
wow.
all videotaped, and it's all by a pick of the dice, how many hides, and where they're going to be located.
The work of dogs in scent detection, whether in law enforcement or the private sector, is a serious business. But for the dogs, it's very much like a game. And that can be fun for the handlers as well.
It's super fun. It's one of those things that I get to come to work every day and play with the dog, and even bad days are good days.
We sit there and we build the drive, but we're not forcing him to work when we're working. For him, it's a great big game of hide and seek.
She loves to work. She looks forward to working. And when she's here, she works for food. So she just really enjoys the fact that she gets a reward, and she likes to see me excited for her. So that's a big part of our day. And, you know, she gets to play with me all day too, which is important.
It takes a lot of training to become a professional detection dog. And unlike police and military dogs, which often come from established breeding programs, professional scent dogs come from all backgrounds.
A lot of our dogs come through rescues, and it's just meeting the standards that our agency has for those dogs.
So really, they come through rescue sometimes.
They do. Sometimes they do come from rescues. Bella came from a rescue, so she was brought into our agency, and she has loved her job ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does that happen that they, because I would have assumed that there was a breeding program like there is for police dogs, but it's actually...
No, we have trainers in our facility in Rigaud that source all of our dogs. So they work day and night to try and find different dogs.
Any breed could do it. Usually your hunting breeds seem to be becoming the more prevalent. Traditionally it used to be your shepherds, but Springer Spaniels seem to be a very particular favorite now in bedbug sort of things. Labs, Vizslas, so all your hunting breeds, because they naturally have been bred to hunt.
It's a way of getting information, basically, what's in the surrounding area, if there's predators or if there's intruders coming. Also, if there's something neat that they want to go over and sniff at and have a little nibble at. It's a way of them seeing the world. They've got about up to 300 million scent little organisms in their nose, and we have maybe 6 million. 3 million at tops probably. And the part of the brain that picks up the messages and interprets all these scents is 40 times larger in a dog's brain than in ours. So it's kind of cool.
Good boy. One of the hardest things is with the bedbug side of things is to actually get out and practice in the environment and not just in the home. So most people are not going to let me bring bedbugs out into the environment to practice with, even though they are contained in vials. So that is one of the hardest things that is in getting him operational, is to practice in other environments. So we often start with a Kong that we teach them to use to scent on. The Kong can go anywhere. We start getting them down to the size of a millimeter piece of Kong, and then we'll imprint the bedbug scent on it. That way we can go out in the boat and practice without having to worry about people and
being
bedbugs.
nervous about bedbugs around?
Yeah, because bedbugs are something nobody wants brought into their place purposely.
Did you ever think you'd be involved in hunting for bedbugs?
I didn't. Not when I was, that was the furthest thing from my mind when I started college way back when, that I'd be looking for bed bugs. But it seems to fit both my dog training side of things that I like to do and the hunting side of things I like to do. So that's why I went it. And he was actually bought specifically for bed bug work.
It's easy to wonder how someone becomes involved in hunting bed bugs. For Barb, it was simply a natural extension of her work as a dog trainer and her interest in hunting.
I started into scent detection as a whole when my gun dogs retired from the field. Got interested in the pet side of things, and I actually have a friend who has a cadaver dog, and we started looking at the practical side of things. And bed bugs seem to be the thing, not that I like bugs, but it seems to be the most practical thing that's needed right now. And as a civilian, it's one of the easier things for a civilian to train a detection dog for.
Hunting for bed bugs with dogs rather than just spraying an entire hotel, apartment complex, or home is an emerging field that exists because people are increasingly concerned about their own health and that of the environment.
Dogs have the nose for it. And a lot of people don't want chemicals. A lot of people, the dog is a lot more accurate than a human being. And as far as bed bugs go, you don't want to spray where you don't have to. But you also don't want a reinfestation. So the dog's nose is so much better than any tool that we have.
No different than Bella at the airport, bedbug detection dogs also go through extensive training that goes beyond just identifying scent.
One thing that, some of the things you need to think about is that just finding scent is the easy part for the dogs. The dogs have to be willing to go anywhere and everywhere. So some of the training that we do is plank work. So he's starting to walk planks that are 6 inches wide, that are a couple feet off the ground. They have to be comfortable in any environment, and public access skills. So scenting the bed bugs is the easy part. And some dogs just can't cut it. I've actually failed 2 of my own dogs out of my own program. So, so it's not an easy make money scheme. I can take your pet dog and do it. I can take any pet dog to teach them to find bed bugs. I can't get them to the point that they're going to certify.
Let's face it, not everyone wants to hunt bed bugs with their dog, and not every dog can pass the professional certification anyhow. But for those who want the challenge, a whole sport of scent hunting has emerged in Canada.
Where did this scent dog competition come from?
So basically, a lot of people like to, I think, emulate the police. So 3 ladies from Ontario had an idea to do scent work with dogs. They were heavily involved in other facets of the dog world, agility, dock diving, and so on and so forth. So they asked a friend of mine for a hand, and he soon thereafter got a couple of his police friends, one of them being myself, and the association sprung roots, and from that point, she was anticipating going across Ontario perhaps with this, and today, I think we're 5 years in maybe, and we're coast to coast. Of course, we're not searching for bombs or drugs as the police do, so we have essential oils that we use that anybody can get, and your dogs, once they're trained on an odor, it's easy to add different odors to that profile. So today we're looking for pine, thyme, and wintergreen. And the dogs will search an area. We have containers that are similar to, I suppose, dogs that would search luggages from an aircraft maybe. Then we do an interior room search, and it goes from 1 room to 2 rooms to 3 rooms. They have to search the entire room, find the odor, and indicate on the odor.
Scent detection is a rapidly growing dog sport. Shelley Perot started in scent detection with search and rescue work and is now teaching classes and running competitions, starting by teaching dogs to find things using hot dogs and moving up to the essential oils.
We have grown drastically in the last 6 months, and CKC is also going to start adding scent detection to their list of sports where you can get a title now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
So this is really becoming a mainstream sport.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. It's getting, again, I started about 6 years ago, and we fought to even pay the rent. And now we have more dogs coming in every week.
And you're looking for a space.
And I'm looking for a bigger space, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, I guess you see a lot of stuff on TV, and you hear about a lot of things about police and police dogs in particular, and the tracking interests people, when dogs find a bad person, how they can contain a bad person, apprehend a bad person, and then when the dog does a tracking work for a lost person, how they don't apprehend the person. So I think people are intrigued with all that, and when you hear of drugs, bombs, lots of times the dogs are involved with that. So and people, yeah, I guess they're drawn to that.
Everybody wants to be a bit of CSI.
I think so. I think
Law and
so. Yeah.
Order.
Yeah.
In the dream of reliving your favorite TV police show with your dog, there are no limits to age, breed, or ability to have fun hunting for scent.
We've had pretty much every breed doing the sport. Things from small dogs, little tiny dogs, to huge dogs, and dogs that sometimes are left behind in the house because they're perhaps disabled to a degree. We've had blind dogs, we've had three-legged dogs, but it's something that for everybody. We try and be all-encompassing, if you would. So yeah, we have pretty much every
It
breed.
really is a truly accessible sport for any breed or ability.
It really is. I guess the only thing that would might hamper somebody is to get to all the levels. So at the basic levels, pretty much every dog does that.
When they're licking, there's actually a scent organism in the mouth, so that when the tongue goes back into the mouth, they're picking up scents that way as well.
Dogs need a job. They like to work. They like to try different things, and they need to be entertained. So I think as a sport, it's great. It's keeping their handlers and the dogs active and working and keeping their minds working. So it's a great thing that people are interested in it.
Because it is a bit different doing it as a job, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because there is the sport of scent detection.
Absolutely.
Which you're involved in.
Yeah. So the sporting side of things is kind of the fun side of it. The dogs go out, the dogs use essential oils, but for an operational side of things, the dogs have to be well enough physically and mentally for the public access side of things. So oftentimes, if they have to go into a hoarding situation, the dogs have to be ready to be on unstable surfaces. The other thing that we have to look at and take into consideration for is health control. So I work with my veterinarian to make sure that we have a pest control plan in place for when he does become certified, so that we're not bringing bed bugs home at the end of the day.
You don't want people to be scared or
No,
frightened of
absolutely
having
not.
dogs
And it's
around.
very important for her to be social with people and other animals. Like, she needs to be friendly and kind because that's the environment that we're creating, and she's a passive dog.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for us here at the airport. She's around so many people that she has to be kind and sweet so people aren't afraid of her.
Professional scent dog handlers have a lot to be aware of, from temperament to expanding their dog's abilities to keeping them in top condition. But for those doing it just for sport, they can be a little bit more laid back. Because it is about fun, right? First.
This is 99% about fun. There is a title involved, and even a dog who does not have a Canadian Kennel Club title gets an STDA title, and the CKC dogs are allowed to carry the title after their name. Pet dogs. Pet dog owners love to have a nice, juicy, big ribbon.
It's come an awful long way, and it's still growing. From when we first started out, as I said before, we were looking at Ontario. Now we're across the country, and there's pretty much a trial every weekend someplace in the country.
This sport is a mental sport for the dogs compared to the agility. This lady behind me does agility with this dog. That tires their body out. I have dogs go home from here and they pass out because they've been mentally stimulated. We've had a greyhound who came off the track and was muzzled, who wasn't allowed in anywhere in HRM because she just was a little crazy. She came here, and after doing a set of classes here, she was then able to lay beside other dogs. We've had dogs who are shy come out of their shell in this sport. We've had dogs who are aggressive back off, dogs who are hyper. They tend to calm down, although some don't. They wait, they want their turn, and they're very vocal about it. But it's a great sport. It's a sport where dogs with injuries can participate. Dogs who are 15 years old. This dog started just 6 months ago, so we're 14 and a half. She started scent detection. She no longer has to be at home on the couch. She now has somewhere she can go and participate. I love to see people working with their dogs. It builds a bond because you have to participate. Confirmation, you grab the end of the lead and you run around and it's all good. It's a great sport. I've done it. I love it. But this sport, this lady has to learn how to read her dog. When her dog says, Mom, that's not what I want to do, or it's over here, take me over here. They have to learn to read their dog and work together as a team. It builds a bond between the dog and I get goosebumps. I love this sport. It does. It builds a bond that is unbreakable.
That unbreakable bond exists for both professional and sporting dogs and their handlers. It's something which just seems natural for dogs.
I'm actually happy to provide the service. I think it's a service that the more people I talk to, the more people who are looking to have it. We can't wait for the dog to be operational. There is a couple of operational dogs in Halifax already, but the demand far exceeds the supply right now.
No, what I'm going to do is when we get close, I'm going to say, if you've got a dog and a 6-foot lead, I got the hot dogs, come in and have a really fun time. I'll tell you one thing, and I'm sure other trainers will tell you the same thing. I've never seen a dog that did not love this sport. Never had one yet, and I've been doing this for 6 years.
It's very interesting to be able to read your dog and see how their behaviors change based on which scent they're sniffing. Like some dogs, when it comes to like fish, will rub against a bag because it's super exciting for them. And then when it's an identifiable odor that we train for, like she tends to wag her tail and she'll look right at me very proud of what she's found, and she'll just put all her feet in. So it's kind of exciting to see like how their behavior changed and how proud they are of themselves that they found what they're looking for. Seeing her work and love her job is the most exciting part of it.
Visit us online to tell us your dog stories for possible inclusion in future episodes. And don't forget to share photos of your canine friends on social media with the hashtag NSK9.
I really enjoy just coming to work and working with her. Like the fact, I love playing with her. I love, seeing the challenges. I love seeing her succeed. When she succeeds, I'm probably more excited than her. And I didn't really realize that I would feel that way about these kind of things.
Next time on NSK9, we're talking about grief and the different ways people cope.
We did have a support network who could and were willing to help us out and take care of the dogs if we needed to go someplace or wanted to go someplace. We reached a point though where, Ben was a 75-pound dog and he had to be carried everywhere. Carried him to the backyard to use the washroom, carry him upstairs to bed. And we didn't want to ask that of anybody. And we did that because he was family, and now we're doing that for Kaya. She's a 50-pound dog and we're carrying her. I don't know, a lot of people asked us, particularly with Ben in the last few months, why we were keeping him alive. And we knew, right until the day he died, he wanted to live.